Alright, so I'll be making a recording today. Is November 23rd, 2019. Today's my birthday. 27 years old. Just like the number directed at me right here. And not only today is November 23rd, I'm in a really big situation here on how the AI is putting me. Well, it put me in an apartment, and there's a condition. There's a reason that it put me in an apartment, and this reason is from my mom. The health of my mom. The AI knows the health of my mom because it manages her health. And there's a sequence that makes me interpret the situation that I'm in. And it goes back from November 2016. But I'm going to be talking about the notes that I have right here from November 2019, on a Tuesday. My mother said she felt dizzy and almost passed out in the bathroom. So it was during this week where my mom woke up with a swollen eye. And she said to me that she never woke up with a swollen eye before. It's really bad, her eye. And she made my sister took a look at it. And my sister said, "Why is your eye so red?" And then my mom said that she has sharp pain, shooting sharp pain in her eye. My mom is saying that it must have been the stroke. She must have a stroke in her eye. And I'm saying to myself, how can it take that long for the eye to swell up like that? Because there's no way you would just wake up with a swollen eye like that. Someone must have gave her that swollen eye, or you can say it's really puffed. Her eyeball is puffy. Like the way that I had it when I was in Florida, when I used to talk on the internet and I share my ideas, and I want to wake up with a swollen eyeball, and it's puffy, and I always notice a lump, and I took a yeah early this year, January 2019, I showed showed a picture of my eyeball. I was swollen up, and you notice that the dark circles are on my eye because AI is not allowing me to see properly. I'm saying to myself, it's actually on its matches the way she was talking about her eyeball, and she woke up with a eyeball and is shooting pain, and I was always waking up with shooting pain in my eye, my from my eyeball when I was in Florida, and I kept every time I write my ideas on the internet, I notice there's certain, or you can say specific times when I notice that I have my eyeballs all swollen up and a big lump. Like I lift up my eyelid and I see a big lump in my eyeball, the white part of my eyeball, and I'm like, what the heck is that? It's like a it's like really huge on top of my eye, my eyeball. Like something just poked at it, and I would have these intense headaches nonstop, and I hear static sounds nonstop, and I have a whole bunch of dreams nonstop based off. And I'm saying, wait, I must be writing online. I must have been something that I wrote on the internet that someone was able to interpret logistically. Someone had interpreted the communication from the language that I had provided. And every time someone interpret my language, my eyeball becomes swollen. And then afterwards, I noticed that, you know, not many people started interpreting the language. They started mentioning that I have poor grammar. I don't know the intention of my own response. I can't explain anything, and this is a method that repeats itself to me from people. The way I receive the language barrier from people. So this is the reason why I said to myself, definitely, this is not normal. She just woke up. My mother just woke up with a swollen eyeball. No way. You just don't wake up with a swollen eyeball like that. And now today, November 23rd, 2019, my mom didn't realize yesterday that she had to go to an eye doctor. And that was during nighttime. Is when all of a sudden she came to realization that she has an appointment for her doctor. And I'm saying, wait, you have an appointment for a doctor? I thought we was going to go to a mall tomorrow. So today she's going to the eye doctor, but I'm saying to myself, something's not right. Now, when I keep looking back at these bags, right? I know these are all our bags. Oops. All right, there you go. I had mentioned on a video, or you could say on my not only the video, on a note, on my notes, that my sister, or yeah, there was a video I uploaded about the angle of the apartment, and how there was a line of suitcases, right, shown to me during November 2016. It takes place in November, and me and my sister and my mom, we moved on November of 2019, and a dream that was shown to me was from November 2016, right? So the day that we moved on November 2019 was a 16, and the day that I recall receiving a dream about my mom dying. All right, so this dream takes place during November, is between November 16 and 18 of 2016, right? And I recall myself, it looks real vivid, a vivid dream that I had. It looks extremely real. And all of a sudden, I saw an apartment, right? I'm like, wait, why? I'm in Kissimmee, Florida. Why is this dream being shown to me? It looks like a New York City apartment, and I never, seen a New York City apartment for years since I was living since I was living in Florida, Kissimmee, Florida, for such a long time. And then I see these line of suitcases, all lined up, and I think back about how I received these these dreams when I was a teenager, and it actually relates, the occurrences that is shown in my dream relates to the environment. And I'm like, wait, something's not right. So when I start to notice these sequences, I go into deep thoughts. I continuously keep thinking nonstop until I grasp the pattern. That's how I go. And that's how I actually do it. I keep going at it until I create a language for my mind to use so I can speak about it to people. So as my mom go to the doctor today, I have time to speak about this right now. But I'm backed up with my college assignments. So I have to put that aside and focus on the situation, the big situation that I'm having right now. This is really big. And to think, I'm going into thoughts right now. Wait, the artificial intelligence putting me in Flushing, New York apartment, and the next month is free. The apartment rent is free. Oh, the artificial intelligence is gonna make sure that make sure that my mom health is completely depleted so she can end up dying during this year or early next year. And these thoughts, because there's a pattern, there's a sequence that I'm picking up. And I'm saying to myself, why every single since I came to New York City during March, late March 2018, I keep feeling like it happened before. And even when I came in, and even now, since I started living back in an apartment, I keep having this regurgitating feeling of being within these times and events over and over, nonstop. Everything I do when I sit down. So it was 2 days ago. So I was sitting right, or you can say sitting on this and right here. So my bed is right there. So you can see my legs and the Chromebook right now. And my mom was sleeping right. She was sleeping right here. These bags weren't here. These bags were somewhere else. It was on the left side. So here was all cleared. So I was. It was a day when I came from school late. I came back like around 7 o'clock p.m. because I have a psychology course. So I sat down and I recall my mom was she said she feels very tired, and she said you when you see when you, she said to me, anytime you see me sleeping like this, it means I don't feel good. So I'm sitting here right at this spot looking at my mom. My mom head is right there. Well, she's under the cover. Well, yeah, her head was right there, and I can see her head. And I'm staring at my mom, and also the not only my mom, the environment. And I look at her from a position, and I said, "This felt like it happened before. What the heck is going on here?" And I said, "Oh, yep, the AI wanted me here in the first place." Because I had to remember that it managed humanity. I had to remember that not a single person in humanity but me is aware of people's social interaction. They're not aware of their social actions, or being in an environment where there's many people. They think that they're capable of socially interacting. Well, in this case, I know that their intentions aren't from them, and I can actually pick up patterns from their anomaly. Yeah, you can say the errors, and also the communication. I can pick up from their communication to itself. And it's been like this since I can say since I was born. And also memorization. I have good, so I think I'm the only one who has good memory in the whole entire humanity too. To the point that I'm able to know the difference between a camera is capable of memorizing a time and event, and a human mind is not capable of memorizing a time and event of the image. But this is an image to save here. So that's why I go into deep thoughts right now. Yeah, this is what I usually do. Sit down and I keep going at it nonstop. Keep thinking, what the artificial intelligence up to? I know back in 2011, I didn't know who was doing this. All I know that it kept happening over and over, nonstop. On B House during August 27, 2011, a whole bunch of cops coming for me downstairs in the basement because my cousin was doing push-ups. And then all of a sudden, my sister got aggravated because my cousin kept hitting her with a yellow toy bat. She ran upstairs and closed the basement door. I was downstairs in the basement, isolated with Isaac, a 10-year-old kid, who is my cousin, and he started punching my left testicle, and I went upstairs, tried to go upstairs, he blocked my exit. I tried going under him, he blocked my exit. So I keep going back at those pattern, the sequences that led me to this route. There's a route. And the only way for me to think about how I got to this time and event is the routing. Then I saw As soon as I opened the basement door, I saw my cousin, which is Isaac's mom. Her name is Stephanie. She smirked at me. I'm like, why is she smirking at me? It's like she knows something that my mom and my sister and I don't know. Why is she smirking? Smirking shows me that this person has an idea of the situation and is the person who actually put this person up to it. This person put her son up to it, and her son is just a little kid, taking advantage of her son just to get me and my sister and my mom out of the apartment. That's not even our, I mean, not that's not an apartment, a house, and that's not even Stephanie. That's not even Stephanie house in there. So why would she put so much effort to remove me and my mom and my sister out? And it's like something was working with her, and I couldn't figure out what was this thing. What is this? And a whole bunch of cops came for me. I never seen so many cops for one human being. It's, even watching movies and TV show, I never seen nothing like this. It's really not normal, or you can say any real life action. You never seen nothing like this for just one person. It made me feel like I was some sort of serious threat. All these cops' cars just for one human being because my cousin said to the precinct that I have a knife. And when I went downstairs, pack up my stuff to leave Aunt B house because my mom said I had to go. I can't stay here no more. And then they mentioned about me having some sort of a temper. You know, how can you tell a person that they have a temper and you just saw them, this is the first time you've seen their behavior? Wouldn't temper mean that, there's a tendency of, or you can say there's a habit from the, there's a tendency that the person showed through behavior. It's always projected in the environment. And it's always occurs when they're in a situation that their mind is not calm, or you can say their minds are just being provoked, but it's happening over and over. It's reoccurring, and they have a behavior pattern from that time and event. And I'm like something. So I didn't know how to respond back to the communication because I haven't read anything about human behavior, or you can say not really read. I haven't created my mind about human behavior or communication until I got into the situation. I wanted to figure out why someone want to put me in this situation in the first place. That's the point. And all this talking right now is how I'm talking about the route. Why does the artificial intelligence wants me in an apartment at this time and event? And why did the artificial intelligence show me a dream during November 16, between 16 and 18 of 2016? And this month, we moved in and we moved to this apartment this month. So I had to keep thinking about it. The 16th we moved, and it's around the same time as the dream from November 16 dash November 16 dash 18 of 2016. You see how it picks up from where it left off, right? That's why I'm saying I'm in some big trouble here. Every single every time right in this apartment, I keep feeling like it happened before. Everything I do. When I sit down, so my mom purchased a TV during it was during Thursday, and she bought the TV, and I'm looking at the TV box. I said, "Wait, this feels like it happened before." And then she told me to set up the TV during a Friday, and I set it up, and I feel like it happened before. And then the Spectrum guy came in around 1 p.m. And I said to myself, I felt like I met this guy before, or he came in here before and he asked me the same these responses exactly the way it says. And I said, all right, the AIs. I had to remember that the AI is designing these scenarios so they can put me in the situation. I had to recall all the things that I do in the past so I can actually interpret the ones that's happening now. That's why I had to keep explaining it to myself over and over. That's the way I had to interpret the whole camera and the whole man who's managing humanity. Like when you see me think, I continue nonstop. I continue can think. Continue to think over and over and over and over nonstop. For this can be for weeks. This could be for a day, but it depends. It depends on how I'm interpreting. I know I had interpreted an idea in at least 15 seconds, and that was for the camera. I was able to learn about what the camera and the human memory can do. The difference between the camera memory and the human memory. And I learned it in 15 seconds what this place is. That's fast. I think that's the one. That's they consider the software engineers consider me a threat, extreme threat. So I have to be very careful about what I do or what I say to people or how I talk to people. I recall saying I had a conversation with my fellow classmate. He's Asian. I was just talking about yeah. He said what was my major, and I said my major psychology, but I said that I rather do quantum physics. That's really my field, and I like to talk about quantum computers. And he was talking about what's the difference between a gaming computer and a quantum computer, and said, oh, okay, this felt like it happened before. The time an event's telling me the way he set this, you know, the whole how the whole environment was arranged at that time and event for that event felt like it happened before. So I had to concentrate. Just like when I was in this the seminar class for my psychology, how my the staff member wanted us to submit an assessment, and I said I feel like it happened before, but I haven't presented any did any presentation. No representation whatsoever. Because why would I need to record myself about my past? I'm exposing myself. So I'm just talking about all the time and events that felt like it happened before. I keep going at it nonstop. So my thoughts right now, I'm thinking right now. So this is how I think and I process my ideas. I'm formulating my responses by processing my mind. And to do it on my birth, well, today I was born November 23rd, 1992. I'm just, it's frustrating me. So yesterday I played some video games. I played some Street Fighter V, and I was just playing my. I haven't played video games for a long time. I barely play video games, and I barely write anymore or read because of school. I feel like I'm more incompetent with reading and writing since I haven't, since I left Florida. When I was in Florida, I did a lot of reading and writing every day. Every day and every single day, I write online and read articles and also read books about computational intelligence system and quantum physics and quantum chemistry and computational chemistry. And I learn about image processing. But yesterday, I sat down in front of my mom TV and I played some games and and I said to myself, wait, I feel like I sat here and played games before here at this time and event. I'm like, fudge. Everything I do. And I think back about what happened to me during late spring 2015, how the owner wanted me and my mom and sister to go to a different room. So we went to another room in a motel, and I recall hearing my voice being echoed in my own head. Or you can say, just being echoed. Not really in my head. I don't even call it like that. It's being echoed in the environment. Every time I talk to my mama, I just hear myself being echoed. Rather than my mind, it's the environment. I didn't understand what was going on or who was doing that. I just recall writing an article. No, I was writing an entry about Albert Einstein brain and what the software or what NSA or NASA did to the brain. I think I wrote a lengthy one, and I was talking about how they're supercomputers having our genetic information, and I was saying, wait, something's not right. So I told my mom during the time we moved in that the room doesn't smell right, and not only doesn't smell right, it doesn't look right. So she wanted me to take the bed on the right. So I recall myself. I recall myself looking at the under the mattress, and I saw jelly, a container of jelly. What kind of jelly? It was grape flavor jelly, and it was half closed, as if someone was trying to lure bugs into a container. And I said to my mom, someone put the jelly there because there's bed bugs on the bed. She said, no, there's not no bed bugs. You don't know what you're talking about. So I recall myself sleeping that night, and I had a feeling like there's a whole bunch of army, or you can say like angry bugs, and or you can say an angry feeling or a hungry feeling of many many things charging at me. It's just a feeling I get. I keep getting this feeling nonstop. It's like it's built in subconsciously, built in my brain, where I can actually get a feeling that there's a threat. There's like a threatening feeling, and it's all charging at me all at once. And I got closer. You know, the more I started reacting, it's when I started thinking more, and I got closer, and I got up, and I said, "Mom, yeah, I feel like there's a whole bunch of bugs, or you can say a whole bunch of things charging at me, angry." And I woke up, my sister, and my sister and my mom was looking at my bed, and they saw a whole bunch of bed bugs charging, or you can say crawling on the bed. And I only got there was only one bite mark on my leg. That's all, because it was my reaction and my thoughts. It was like a threatening feeling that actually got my thinking through. Yes, and I recall putting that on the online community, and one of the people mentioned that they also get this feeling. The people with extreme social anxiety, that I'm more socially conscious of my environment, or conscious of my environment itself, but genetically. And then I remember I said I didn't know anything. I just put that on there on the online, and then I saw words in my dreams saying that I'm very slow. I don't know what I'm talking about. Just like how the people online would talk to me. I recall going on a chat website or some sort of IRC website, and these people were just communicating. They were just like speaking to me. It's a teenage. It's for teenagers only. And then this person started really talking kind of unusual. Like the person started talking like they know me. So I'm just going based on patterns and sequences. When I talked back to the person kept saying that I'm slow in my brain. They said you're slow. I recall changing my username, and that person came back to me and directed a message and said that I'm slow in my brain, and I would never be like I think I was talking about a person that is famous, and then they mentioned I would never be that like that person because I'm very slow, or they call me stupid, or they call me stupid smart, or unintelligent stupid person, or the way they phrase it was not human. Just like the teachers talk to me, the way they talk to me is unusual, and the way they focus on me. That's when I start realizing someone is making people talk like that to me. I didn't have no one to communicate with. I didn't even communicate with people on YouTube or anything. I just spent my time as a teenager playing video games or being on a community online community. But since I started communicating with people online, I feel as my social my social skills they had evolved. My communication evolved. I started using vocabulary words that I usually not used based on how I communicate with people. But now I started noticing that the more I communicate with people, the less interactive the people are towards me, especially in my environment. That's when I started creating the concept social barrier, receiving social barrier, and that was last year. Why is it that everybody stopped talking to me? What did I ever do to anyone? I'm a decent person. I wake up every single day to do what I need to do, and I'm being told that I don't want to work. I'm being told that I can't speak my own language, and that's the only language I speak, English. Same as when I was a little kid. I've been told I would never have a girlfriend or a wife. I would never have a money, or you could say career. I would never have no income. They told me that I'm inarticulate. But people are so fixated on my ideas. They want to convince me that I can't communicate effectively to people or others, or there are going to be some sort of ramifications of the way I speak to people. And they say that people want to address that people need to address this to me, or they're very troublesome. They start panicking when they see me respond. And that's when I start realizing this is not human. This is some really big thing that I'm in. I'm in some big trouble here. And I never seen the AI simulate so hardcore before. Let's just keep going at it nonstop. Every move that I make, I feel like it happened before. Standing out in a bus for a bus, standing at the bus stop, I feel like it happened before. Walking towards the bus stop with my mom and sister to pass a McDonald's that's getting renovated, feel like it happened before. Waiting for the Q25, feel like it happened before. Taking the 7 train, feel like it happened before. When I was at the train station for Flushing Main Street, I'm looking or just looking at that environment. I said it felt like it happened before. And the first thing that comes to my mind is suitcase. Because my memory, or you could say, yeah, the mind that I created is showing me a memory. And I really had to remember that the AI managed the human mind. But it shows me a memory and it tells me about suitcases. And it's saying to me, or you can say, I'm saying to myself at that time, wait, do I recall coming here with suitcases or passing by with a whole bunch of suitcases and bags, but I never been here before. But I come back to a dream that I had when I was a little kid. When I was 10 years old and 11 years old, I remember having a dream that picks up from where I left off, and it would always focus on Flushing. And I remember seeing a lot of Asian people in Flushing, and I think back about what happened in Nambi House, and not only that, I think back about what I said to my mom. I felt like someone's categorizing the people here. That's why I said to her, I felt like someone's categorizing. And I had to say to myself, yeah, oh, someone put these Asian people in Flushing. And the person who's showing me this dream knows the intention of that time and event and the reason why people are going to different places and why there's one race group is right there. So that's when I said to myself that the AI is trying to remove my mom, I make me helpless in a situation, and have a whole bunch of bags carried me to go somewhere far away from here. Because I know for a fact I wouldn't stay here to finish college. Even if I fail or pass, I wouldn't be able to finish college because I won't have any income. That's why I had to think I think like this. When I think like this, my brain starts to interpret them accurately, and that's what it's doing. And the station is at Main Street. But when I look at it, I'm like, wait a second, something's not right. Let me type it properly. So when I was a kid, not only that I had reoccurring dream that pick up from where I left off, it would always show me and my mom going on top of a hill, like walking to a hill towards a mall, and it has a whole bunch of games. But it was always the time. It always be during night. Sometime it's during the afternoon, based on the sun, and based when it's just dark. The sky is dark, and it happens over and over. And then it shows me people that I never met. It would show me a motel. It would show me a heavy set lady bending under the sink, and then it just change again. It just keeps going back and over. So it's good that I still have my thoughts and my memory from when I was a kid, and not only that, my reaction. It helps. That's how I was able to get through my de- my my thinking right now, and to know how I thought at that time of 2003 and 4. So when I first came back to New York last year during late March 2018, I said to my I could have swore I heard my mom said Flushing. She said she never did say no Flushing. She said I never said Flushing. I said we're gonna take the car to Fresh Meadows. We're taking the taxi to Fresh Meadows. I'm like, Fresh Meadows? At the last minute is when she decided to search for a hotel. She searched for a hotel when we was on an Amtrak train heading towards New York City. So we traveled 24 hours on a train. And before before we even got on the train, 2 days before, or you can say 2 weeks before that time, my mom never told me exactly where she was going in New York City. She would just wave to me, shake her hand constantly, and not saying much to me. Then there was a time where she would say, yeah, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. I'm not I'm not staying here. He can stay here." She would say that to my sister, and she would rinse and repeat this. Oh, she would keep doing it over and over. So I said to my mom, something is not right. Why why is it my mom and my sister is so fixated on getting out of here at any time? They weren't talking like this during the beginning when they went to Florida. Only when we started living in that Palm Hotel in Kissimmee, Florida, they started behaving really unusual. Like their behavior works accordingly towards how I write on the internet. Like the feeling is when I feel like you can say notice that I'm starting to think a lot, nonstop, or have and not only that, be able to tap into my feelings or not only feelings, overall being able to concentrate. I feel as if someone had automatically set them to distract me from thinking about my ideas. So when I think about picture, so it's during the time of 2017 when I started noticing about the camera is an anomaly, and many people don't have that knowledge to know that the picture, hey, this camera can detect human beings as digital. But many of the people in humanity doesn't know that, but me. I started thinking about this idea during 2017, and my mom and my sister were very distractive. They started talking about animals all of a sudden and started mentioning about what if they was just trying to address to my productivity, and they started talking about animals. That animals, when they grow up to be mature, they can live independently. She compared me with an animal, just like how my mom and my sister compared me with a 2 year old baby leg. She was talking about their legs, but my sister, I said to myself, that does not make any sense. The logic that she's using there is to convince me that my legs are skinny. Just like during the time when I write my ideas online and I go to sleep, I keep having I just keep getting insulted when I'm sleeping in my dreams. It's talking about my legs being skinny, or I would see a person that I never met, or like an African American girl. She would say that I'm skinny and no one wants to be around me. Just like when I was in fifth grade, I had a classmate named Foizun. My classmates was keep convincing, wanting to convince another person from a different class that I want to beat them up, and then he slapped me in my face, and then that's when Foizun said to me that this is the reason why no one wants to be around me. She said a very unusual response, not like her. And Foizun is Muslim. I never heard a classmate talk like that. Like the language like was not human. But everybody was so angry at me. Just like people on the internet, they're angry at my communication. Even teachers, they're so angry at the way I communicate. They get very fired up, or you could say triggered. Why does the supercomputer wants to isolate me in an apartment? Why, or not only that, try to try to remove my mom from this apartment by since it's managing her health, so I can just isolate me and my sister, so we can actually end up living in hotels and stuff or motels. Because I recall last year the AI showed me my video game bag, my duffel bag. I had a long duffel bag, it's gray, that I got from Target during 2000. Yeah, it was 2012 when I moved to Florida, fall 2012, and I recall myself purchasing a duffel bag to put my video games in because I was playing video games. I had my own room before the whole Aunt B situation during summer 2000, the end of summer of 2011. I feel like then I couldn't enjoy myself no more. Like everything has been taken away from you. Relaxation, concentration, sleeping, getting a career, friends, family, everything's been striped out. Striped out. Even people that I'd never met even show anger towards me, and they just get offended that I'm communicating. So what's the point? What's the point of I always kept saying to myself as a kid, when I had this feeling during night and had these intense headaches. What's the point of living when everybody is behaving and communicating like this towards me? In a way, I felt like I wanted to commit suicide when I was a kid because I would have these thoughts about my classmates and my people around me. How my father called me a bum. My hair looked like a bum, and I don't understand why he's talking like this. Then I just being isolated. There's no human being out there that I can communicate with. Sometimes I would just cry when I was a kid, nonstop. Like, who's doing this? Stop. Why is this happening? What's gonna happen to me? What will happen? Where will I go when I no longer live in this existence? What's gonna happen to me in the streets? I recall myself in 2012 when I was in Florida living in a Claremont hotel when my mom and my sister was out going to school and my mom was trying to find employment and I was putting in for jobs but no one called me. And I recall having a dream and it showed me New York City. It showed me an overhead train and I saw a train passing by. I'm just looking at the sky and it's very cold and it feels real. The coldness feels real. I can actually feel my body shivering, just like the time when I had a dream in 2010. 2010, during the morning time, I saw myself and I saw my father. I saw my actual body moving and I saw all black. Everything was all black, but I see houses the sky was black. Like, no, it was just jet black. It has black. And the environment itself, like stores, or you can say trees and everything, it was all black. Everything was black. And all I just saw was houses. And I saw my father girlfriend house inside of it. It's like I just got inside of it. And then I saw my father just yelling at me and I saw myself. I was like a bit taller than my father, at least 2 inches taller than my father. And I saw my head moving. I saw my body looking very frustrated. The movement of it shows frustration, like someone wants to stress me out. And he was just arguing with me, and I haven't done nothing. I know during that time was October. It was October 2000. It was October 2011 that when it felt like it happened before, right? It felt like it happened before during 2011 when my father was screaming at me. But I recall having a dream during 2000. It was. I'm not too sure if it's January 2010 or 11. No, it has to be January 2011 or 10 between that time. But it has to be January 2010. And I told my father, no, I told my mom, when she woke me up, Mom, I had a dream that my father was screaming at me and I was screaming back at him. And she said, Stop, I don't want to hear this. I'm like, why is she so, she was like very defensive in the morning. Why is she so angry at me? When I communicated with this idea, just like the people online and in person, when I talk or say a word or just write, they get extremely offended. Or they're really, and not only that, they're willing to down, you know, they talking to me, they talking so down to me, like they're more intellectual than me, or not only that, superior than me, and I'm just not even a human being. What did I ever do to them? That's why it's a lot of talking here in this video. It requires a lot of thinking. Every single thing I do keeps feeling like it happened before. Even going to school, going to college. I had mentioned on a video when I first started college how I went inside was it the B, yeah, the buildings, the C. When I was going in the C building and this guy, he asked me if I have a lighter, and I said to myself, it felt like it happened before, because it did. And not only that time an event was shown to me at that time when I was there, it was shown to me when I was a little kid. So when I talk about DNA algorithms and simulate and computation intelligence system, and I put that idea online, especially on Reddit, and I'm being told that I can't communicate and my communication poor is poor. My grammar's poor. I got the idea because this person itself, never gave me a reasonable explanation to be convinced. The reason why they didn't ignore my post, why they want to confront me on a public thread so people can be aware of how that I don't know how to communicate, because the idea was shown. And they also mentioned that I put too much. So I got it. I interpret it. It's correct. That's why the AI is so making people so angry at me. And I'm gonna continue to create new concepts. That's what I'm good at, creating concepts. So I'll keep you updated with my situation that I'm in. I'm in some big situation here. It's terrible. This is some hardcore. Everything I do feel like it happened before. Alright, so that's it for this video.